The conflict between Iran and Israel has reached a new level of intensity as Iran unleashed what it calls one of the most powerful strikes yet. Ladies and gentlemen, this was not a routine attack at all. It was coordinated, high impact missile barrage described as part of the 66th wave, targeting some of Israel's most critical locations. In fact, according to emerging reports, super heavy missiles, weighing several tons, they were launched towards major cities like Tel Aviv and strategic areas including the Haifa oil hub. Within minutes, sirens began blaring across multiple regions. Residents rushed into shelters as the night sky lit up with the incoming missiles and interceptor fire, turning cities into zones of fear and urgency. In fact, the sound of explosions echoed through the urban areas, marking one of the most intense moments in the ongoing conflict. The targets, they were not really random either. Energy infrastructure, urban centers, and key operational zones, they were all under threat. In fact, reports suggest that multiple sites, possibly up to 17 locations, right, 17, they were hit or affected, though exact damage assessments are still unfolding. Strikes on energy hubs like Haifa, they carry wider significance as they can impact fuel supply, industrial activity, and even the global energy market. But what makes this attack so different is the scale and the weight. Using heavier, more powerful missiles suggests an attempt to increase impact, penetrate defenses, and send a strong strategic message here. Military experts say that such weapons, they are harder to intercept. They can cause more damage even if partially neutralized. This points to a shift in tactics here, moving from frequent, smaller strikes to fewer but more destructive blows. And yes, how can we forget? At the very same time, the psychological impact is immense. Continuous sirens, repeated alerts, visible explosions are creating a climate of constant tension among the civilians. Daily life has been disrupted with people extending hours in the shelters. Schools and businesses are also affected, and emergency services are stretched to their limits. The whole situation has also raised serious concern about escalation, though. With each new strike wave, risk of stronger counter-response grows. Israel is likely to intensify its operation, which could really lead to further retaliation from Iran. Now, this creates a whole cycle that becomes harder to control. There are also fears that other regions and groups, they could be pulled in, widening the whole conflict beyond its current boundaries. Now, globally, the impact is already being felt. Markets are reacting, oil prices remain sensitive, and governments are closely monitoring what is happening in this region. It is no longer isolated. It has direct consequences for the global economy and international security.